Back in March, we talked about proper alignment and we went into details about how that affects our turns and everything. But today, I want us to dive even deeper into our alignment. Later on in the week, I go through many different types of turns that we are able to do, but we need to talk about the alignment to be able to do those turns. Often, when we hear the term turn, we simply think of pirouettes, but there's a lot of other options aside from that. When we go to use our arms, it becomes super important to make sure that our arms are staying where they belong. Now, we've talked before about not having our arm cross over. You need to make sure that your right arm stays on the right side of your body, your left arm stays on the left. Whether you're in the third position as a prep or going into your fifth, you never want to crisscross because then you're likely to drop. If you're in jazz, you want to make sure that you keep that nice and straight coming out of your shoulder, so that way you're prepped and ready to go and your arm just needs to do a little bit of a swing in. This is huge because when you have your shoulders down and back and your arms are where they belong, this makes it so your head is able to spot. You should have a much easier time when you go to turn when you keep your shoulders and arms where they belong. Again, this is applicable to all the different types of turns. If we're turning on the floor, you need to be able to keep those arms mobile. So again, you need to keep your arms in their alignment out of those shoulders. From a flooring perspective, again, the dynamic doesn't change. You need to make sure that you're lengthening up and out instead of tilting down. You need to keep that shoulder down and back, and you need to have that strength in your arm as though it was your leg. There are different ways to turn on the floor. This is just one example with one arm. You also need to keep the alignment in your hand on the floor then, just like we talked about our feet and how that needs to have the proper prep and placement. We need to do the same thing with our hand now, so we can't let that go when we change our turning dynamic and we use the floor. Traditionally speaking, you want your hand in more of a jazz hand, so it's lengthened and has better grip. If you do need to do a closed hand, you still need to make sure you're lengthening out of those fingers. Again, it's making sure that you have proper control so you don't just face plant. If you're doing things like leg swings, where we swing side to side, you still need to be able to keep your alignment lengthened. You still need to keep your arms where they belong. Like I said, today is just about getting a little bit of those add-on details for alignment because there's more to it than just the pirouette aspect of things, and being able to take into account how that all is going to affect things like your spotting, which comes down to your head alignment. You need to make sure you got your chin up and you're lengthening. Now, when we talk about chin up, that does not mean you're lifting upwards. It's looking over from side to side, and you should feel a lengthening state in your neck. When you go to do the spotting aspect, you should be able to turn and snap. Now, there's more to the whole spotting technique, but that sets you up for being able to move easier while you're learning how to spot. I will see you tomorrow as we talk about some of the issues that can arise that I've kind of made mention of throughout this week. So I will see you tomorrow.